The teams have been separated. Matt versus Sora and Weregarurumon's debut. These are the headlines coming out of this week's episode of Digimon Adventure 2020 titled The Wolf Standing Atop of the Desert. So let's look at the good, the bad, and the straight up ugly from this week's episode of Digimon Adventure 2020. Let's start off with the good. The good starts almost straight away with Izzy narrating Gabumon's Digimon profile, and I can't agree with him more. What is Gabumon in terms of species? What animal is he? And guys, it's a serious question to you lot as well. Please comment down below. I am genuinely curious on what animal Gabumon is based off. He also says he will have a sneak peek underneath his fur. Yeah, I don't think Gabumon would like that. The teams are separated straight away. Tai and his team are going through the jungle, and I swear, it looks like something out of Indiana Jones or the Uncharted games, because we see these ancient temples as well in the background, and I love them exploring and discovering new stuff. So this is all good for me, because right at the end of the episode we see them in those temples and they have ancient writing within them, so it makes that Indiana Jones adventure feel to it even more. We see Matt and the other team with Weregarurumon making her first appearance in a few episodes, and of course we didn't see her Digivolution sequence. We see her carrying Matt, Sora and Joe in a giant basket. Where the hell did they get that from? In the middle of the desert, no less. I found that really funny, I'm not gonna lie. Yamato started attacking the group within the desert, but we saw a mystery claw coming from the depths within the desert, killing them. I love this death scene. It shows that this Digimon is protecting his territory, and no one crosses the desert without getting past him. The long claw wrapped around Yamamo's body like how a snake would choke out its prey using its long body, and then the spike of the claw dealing that killing blow. The visual of the Digimon's death was actually really cool and satisfying to see. The blue data within the Digimon's body completely shattered and dispersed, making sure that this Digimon is deleted from that attack. We're seeing more Digimon die in this series, and it's a good thing, because in the original, whenever the Digidestined fought against Digimon controlled by a black gear, or even in Adventure 02 when the 02 cast were fighting against the Digimon being controlled by Ken, we never got to see them actually kill the Digimon. We only saw them destroying the dark rings or the black gears. The main villains are the only ones who were being killed. But here, we're having to see literally random Digimon being killed by other random Digimon. This makes the digital world a much more of a danger, much more of a bigger threat than in previous seasons. And that's why the Digidestined have to be at their top game in order to survive. They have to make bold decisions, otherwise they will end up like Yamato in this scene. But yeah guys, I love the fact that we're seeing more deaths in this series. It's just more scary for the Digidestined, and I feel more scared for them now than ever before. The mystery Digimon then started turning his eyes on the Digidestined and the Kiaromon. Luckily for them, Matt was there and he figured out that the Digimon underneath the sands is reading their moves, so he used Garurumon's Foxfire explosion to escape. He then meets up with Sora and Joe in what looks like an oasis in the middle of the desert, which is quite cool to see. There we meet Neomon, Beramon and Labramon. Neomon reveals that the Digimon in the sand is called Scorpiomon, who is also an ultimate Digimon. But that's not all. He mentioned also Leomon. Guys, we did a video on bringing back Leomon. Please go check it out. And once you're at it, subscribe and hit that notification bell as well. I know I said this last week, but we will be releasing our top 8 Metal Digimon video on Wednesday, so stay tuned for that. It's going to be a very exciting video, so do make sure to subscribe and hitting that notification bell. Leomon has apparently formed a resistance to combat the Digimon who are being controlled by the Dark Miasma, which must have been the thing that was coming out of Metal Tyrannomon's mouth. So does that mean that Leomon knows who the main villain is? If Leomon is fighting the Digimon who are being controlled by the Dark Miasma, then that means he should already know about the Digidestined, because the ancient writing in these ancient temples so far, hell, even in a lighthouse, we have seen Tai decipher the ancient writing, and the ancient writing just talking about the Digidestined. So I'm thinking Leomon must already know that the Digidestined are coming because of the prophecies being written literally everywhere. And if that's the case, then Neomon is wrong, and that both the Digidestined and Leomon and his army will be looking for the Holy Angel Digimon. But guys, what do you think? Do you think Leomon already knows about the Digidestined, or does he have his own agenda? Comment down below your thoughts. Matt and Sora have a bit of an argument going on, and similar to how Ty and Matt had an argument in the previous episode, the argument here goes both ways as well. Matt is saying to leave these Digimon because they have a mission to do, while Sora is saying they can't just leave them stranded here, whilst good old reliable Joe has no say in this. But I like Sora in this. She has more of a backbone now in this series. In the previous episode, she managed to calm Ty down, and in this episode, she stood her ground in this little debate with Matt. In previous seasons, she would just be a bystander, and she would just let the others make all the decisions. But here, she's actively calming down situations or making decisions herself. It adds a lot more to her character than just being a loving person to everyone. It means she can have a mean streak to go with her loving personality. She got that nasty side to her. If you piss her off, just like Mimi, they're all leaders here. It's not just one person making all the decisions. I just hope Joe gets that treatment as well at some point. Matt goes off on his own and Gabumon tells him, "Aren't you going to tell the others your secret?" And he says he's got Gabumon, implying he doesn't need the others as long as he got Gabumon, which is a major flaw. That does get resolved by the end of the episode, but it's still a massive flaw because he still doesn't trust them enough to tell them why he needs to hurry up. And the reason is TK. He mentions later to them that he has a little brother and he's worried that he's scared because Tokyo is fully blacked out, which is what any older brother would be feeling for their younger baby brother. But him not telling them, this is just show that Matt is not perfect. He still has a lot of growing up to do. I guarantee you this isn't the last time we will see Matt not trusting the others. I can promise you that. This is his flaw. Him having the crest of friendship is ironic because of his distrusting nature. And this is something he truly needs to get over if he wants to grow. That's why Ty will always be a better leader, because he can trust people, whilst Matt just can't. But it's all in the good portion of the episode, because it shows that Matt is still not perfect. He's still a kid after all, learning his trade. Ikakumon and Bergermon are fighting against the Sanyamamon. We see the power of the Digivice reacting to Sora's emotion, and as a result, Bergermon one-shotted one of the Sanyamamon. That attack Bergermon used reminded me of the Ring Blade attack that Garurumon used, but then Bergermon gets taken out by Scorpiomon. And as Sora and Joe were cornered and not know what to do, who returns? Matt and his trusty wolf, who uses an attack called Foxfire, even though he's a wolf. But that fire barbecued the Sanyamamon alive as Matt and Garurumon do their epic hero pose. Scorpiomon vs Garurumon was similar to Greymon vs Metal-Tyrannomon, but nowhere near as brutal. But he still couldn't do shit against Scorpiomon. Matt remembers everyone instead of the mission for once, and we see a silhouette of TK. Enter Weregarurumon. This was savage. I wanted to see some MMA moves from Weregarurumon, and of course, our heavyweight champion makes his debut and he made it look so easy in defeating Scorpiomon. He blocked that claw attack with his fingers. He does a karate chop on the tail, which then deletes that portion of Scorpiomon's body. Scorpiomon tries a pincer move on him, but it still does nothing to Weregarurumon. This is light work for him, casually stopping the pincers. It didn't look like he was using his full strength either. We saw some kickboxing moves here from Weregarurumon, kicking the shit out of Scorpiomon's face, with Weregarurumon finally ending Scorpiomon's misery by using his Kaiser Nail attack as the killing blow. Are the ultimate levels too powerful? Because the struggle between a champion fighting an ultimate is there, but then when it gets to ultimate versus ultimate, the partner Digimon are dominating the other ultimate Digimon. Metal Greymon one-shotted Metal-Tyrannomon, and here it was basically the same. Should they have more of a struggle, or is this okay? Is this justified? Please comment down below your thoughts. Matt confesses to the others his secret, and we end the episode with Mimi falling down into the depths of the ruins. Now let's go over the bad. Very lazy with the Digivolution sequences with the Ikakumon. I don't expect to see Bergermon's Digivolution sequence. That's basically a pipe dream at this point, but they're doing the same to all the other Digimon aside from Agumon and Gabumon. And adding to that, where was Weregarurumon's Digivolution sequence? Where was the howl at the end? The howl makes the sequence back in the original, and not having the howl even after beating Scorpiomon was a big missed opportunity. And I didn't really feel Weregarurumon was earned in this episode. We literally had Garurumon captured in Scorpiomon's claw once. and that's it. He then digivolves to Ultimate after that. With Tai and Greymon, they both suffered for 2 episodes straight against Metal Tyrannomon. In the previous episode, the whole episode, they were suffering against him. It was their determination to avenge Ogremon that pushed Greymon to digivolving. Whilst here, it was like in episode 8, where Matt remembered everyone was there and they were all a team. It was the same as that episode, so I didn't really feel like Weregarurumon was earned in this episode, but that's just my opinion. It was an okay episode, nothing truly amazing, but decent. That's why there's no ugly points to this episode. But what do you guys think? Comment down below your thoughts, and as always, care for nothing.